Hello, I'm Chris from the FPL Dude, and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video for the 2021-2022 season. In today's video, we'll be building that best predicted team now to target Game Week 3. For me to be able to build that best predicted team, guys, first of all, I would need to take a look at those upcoming fixtures. Manchester City plays against Arsenal in the first one. I believe this might just turn into a very tricky fixture. Arsenal have not showed anything yet. They did lost 2-0 to Brentford in the first game week. So I think that Arsenal do want to play a bit better now. They might just show a bit higher quality in this one, even though it's Manchester City. And when it comes to Manchester City, you could potentially target some of their players, but it rotation risk is just too high for me to actually risk it against Arsenal. And there's so many other good options that are available 100% starters for this particular game week. Aston Villa, for example, plays against Brentford. This is a team that I want to target. Aston Villa. I want to go and target two of their players. Let me just remove all of my players. Sorry, I should have done this before the video, but I'm doing it now as it seems, just fast and easy like this. So what was the team? Aston Villa is the team that I want to target. The first player that I want to bring in is Danny Ings. I believe him to be an excellent striker. He did join the club this summer, scored a goal now on his debut, I believe. Yeah, scored a goal scored in game week 1 and goal scored in game week 2 as well. I believe that he does have excellent potential to continue now even in game week 3, especially because they play against Brentford. Brentford are the newcomers. I don't expect them to have that good of a quality defense. And as for the next player that I'm going to bring in, it is going to be Target. Not Target, but potentially Cash. 5 million. He's a fullback that plays for Aston Villa. And when it comes to those other defenders, I believe they have two centre-backs that could potentially do good, but their centre-backs, they don't usually push that high. I believe that Cash is the one that has that best attacking return potential from this team, guys, out of their defenders right now, as it seems. Brighton plays against Everton. I believe that this game might just be Everton's game, but I just do not want to go for any of these two teams. I believe this might just be a bit risky. Brighton might be able to win them. Everton might be able to win Brighton. This might even end up 0-0, so it's a very questionable fixture to target. But if you want to target, there are a few good players you could potentially go for, like Digne or Calvert-Lewin. So yeah, you should potentially target Everton if you even want to target this fixture. Let's move on now. As for the next fixture, it's Newcastle against Southampton. I don't know why it's loading, but we can see it's Newcastle against Southampton. I believe that Southampton does not have that good of a defense, so I'm going to go and target some Newcastle player, and that is going to be Wilson. I'm going to explain my choices a bit later, but I want to have a bit more balanced out squad. I just don't want to go triple up on some teams just because they do have good fixtures. Well, I think that so many other teams have very good fixtures as well. Like in this particular game week, there are so many fixtures that actually have very good fixtures. We are going to talk about it very soon. Norwich plays against Leicester as well. This is the next team to target, Leicester. I believe that you should potentially bring in Vardy for this one. He's on penalties. He's a player that is a guaranteed starter, a key player for his team. And I am going to bring in even Barnes. I believe that he's a very good player. He scored 9 goals last season in only 2,000 minutes. So he could have had like 14 if he played the whole season. And it all went as planned and as the calculation proceed. But yeah, Barnes should potentially be here and Vardy because, as I said, they play against Norwich and newcomers, which I believe have not one of the best defenses in the league. Let's move on now. It's West Ham against Crystal Palace. This particular game week as well. I believe that West Ham should have the quality to be able to beat them. Now I really want to go for Antonio. As you can see, I already have Wilson playing against Southampton. Ings, who did he play against? Playing against Brentford, and Vardy playing against Norwich. So I don't think that I actually have some space in my team to be able to bring in Antonio. But for those reasons, I will bring in Benrahma to be my midfielder and representing West Ham. He could potentially be able to score something in this one, as he's very attacking-minded midfielder. He's actually a winger. So yeah, I believe that Benrahma will be able to do good, and he does seem to have settled in the team as a guarantee starter, guys. So yeah, definitely check him out if you have not done it already. And for the last player from that team, I am going to bring in Cresswell. Cresswell had 10 assists last season. Kuffold had 9. 4 of Kuffold's assists actually came in when Cresswell was injured. So in regular games, it's Cresswell that is playing that full attacking wing-back position, while Kuffold has that full-back position. This means that he does have a bit more defensive duties, while Cresswell is allowed to roam a bit more freely in those attacking positions. So if you have 0.5 millions, then I strongly recommend for you to go for Cresswell instead of Kuffold. But yeah, that's the only thing that I would have done. Let's move on now. It's Liverpool against Chelsea. Now this is one of those unpredictable, tricky fixtures. This game could potentially end up 0-0. This game could potentially end up 5-5 as well. I hope for something like that, as I want to see some show. I want to see Liverpool and Chelsea scoring goals, not just keeping it clean. But this game could potentially even end up 0-0 without any of the teams being able to score. So yeah, I'm going to skip it. The players are just too expensive to be playing these tricky fixtures. Burnley plays against Leeds in this one. Many think that this is going to be an easy game for Leeds, but I just don't see it. I don't think that Leeds are a big team like United, City, Leicester and Liverpool or Chelsea, or teams like this that has that good of a higher quality than Burnley. But Burnley plays at home. Burnley does have very good defense. They do have quality offense as well. Leeds does not have one of the best defenses in the league. So guys, to be honest, this fixture is much more trickier than it actually looks like. It's not an easy fixture for Leeds, definitely. It's a fixture that even Burnley might be able to dominate. We will see what is going to happen, but I'm not going to risk it there either, as I think that there are a few good players that we could potentially target now from Tottenham and Manchester United in the last 2 fixtures to be able to complete the squad. So yeah, next fixture is Tottenham against Watford. There are 2 players in particular that I would like to bring in from this Tottenham team. Now, if Kane makes a comeback, then I would perhaps need to make some rearrangements with this team, but right now Kane is injured. Son is fit and ready to play, so I'm going to bring him in for that particular game week. And Hugo Lloris, guys, 5.5 millions. Now, why do I bring in him? Is because Tottenham plays against Watford, the newcomers, and I believe that Tottenham showed a bit of a quality now against even Manchester City in game week 1, guys. They did kept it clean against Manchester City. If they could have done that, I believe they could potentially even keep it clean against Watford now. So yeah, that seemed to be the key reason why I actually go for Lloris. And now for the last fixture, Wolves against Manchester United. Manchester United have tons and good players we could potentially go for, but there are 2 in particular that I want to bring in this particular team. The first one is Bruno Fernandes, 12 millions. I believe that he might just have that best captaincy potential for this particular game week as well, playing against Wolves away. Liverpool plays against Chelsea. Now you could potentially captain Fernandes or Vardy, but Vardy is a bit more risky as he has been out of form for quite a while now, couple of months to be honest, even before the season's end. before the 2020-2021 season, that is. Let me just check the second Manchester United player that I want to bring in right now. It is going to be Shaw. Definitely believe that he is one of those key players for this team with a guaranteed start in place on that left back position. I believe that he is very attacking minded. Manchester United does have very good clean sheet potential because they do have quality defense, guys, to be honest. And they do play against Wolves. Wolves have not shown anything in particular for the last 12 months or so. So yeah, they've not been playing good at all throughout the whole last season. Yes, some teams have potentially bad periods, but Wolves had a completely bad season. I don't think they will be able to make a comeback this season that easily. They've not invested enough. So they are pretty much probably going to struggle even this one. Let me just complete the team right now. The goalkeeper replacement does not need to be anyone in particular as long as he costs only 4 millions. If you can find somebody that costs less, yeah, definitely go for that 3.9 million goalkeeper. But there is none. So I am just going to bring in Gunn, as I don't think that I will ever have the need to actually triple up on Norwich. So yeah, Gunn is going to be there just to fill out the places. Tsimikas is going to be the next player to be there. I think that Tsimikas could potentially be used as a first bench replacement. There are a lot of rumors going on around that Robertson is going to make a comeback now in Game Week 3. This is the main reason why you want Tsimikas on your bench and not potentially in your starting 11. And if I have him as a first bench replacement, then I would need to have even second bench replacement that has quality potential to start, because if Tsimikas does not get to start, then we would need somebody else as a backup. And that somebody else in this case is going to be Bissouma. He's one of those cheapest starting midfielders. Bissouma and Brownhill, I believe, 2 4.5 midfielders that could potentially do good. I had Bissouma almost throughout whole last season, guys. As you can see, he did nothing throughout the whole season, scored 1 goal. And now in 2 games he has 1 assist and has earned 10 points, which is more than many other midfielders, and he's the cheapest one. So yeah, definitely you want him on your bench, as he costs only 4.5 millions. And guys, for the last bench replacement now, it just really does not need to be anyone in particular. Let's take a look at them. Let's try to find somebody that could potentially do good. I'm just not sure who. Eiling could potentially do good. So yeah, Tsimikas is going to be my first bench replacement. I believe that Bissouma should potentially be my second bench replacement, and Eiling will be my third. As for those starters now that I'm going to use, Loris will be on the goalkeeper, as Tottenham does have pretty good fixture for this one. I expect them to do good defensive wise and offensive wise. Same goes to Aston Villa now. I have Cash and Ings. From that West Ham team I have Cresswell and Benrahma. But I'm just going to explain to you my formation. 3-4-3 formation. Cash, Shaw, Cresswell are going to be the starting defenders. Benrahma, Son, Barnes and Fernandes are going to be the starting midfielders. Fernandes is even going to be the captain. I believe that he does have that best captaincy potential for this particular match day, as Salah plays against Chelsea and there are not so many other informed Premier League players that could potentially suppress them easily. There are none. And for those strikers, I will go for Wilson, Ings and Vardy, even though I believe that there are 2 very mentionable strikers for this particular game week, and there are Antonio and Calvert-Lewin, but I just think that this particular trio is going to be able to do best now for game week 3. So guys, if you thought this video was of any help, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if that is something you have not done already. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.